So I knew from a young age that I wanted to play D1 softball. So that was my goal, that was my dream. But there are like bullet points that I like to say in order to attain and reach that goal. So you guys all may have different types of goals, whether it's D1, whether it's just playing college softball in general, which is fine, whether it's even playing volleyball in college, it doesn't matter what your goal is. But there are steps that you have to take in order to get there. And I will say that if you just show up on the weekend at your practice and at your games on Sunday, honestly, that's not enough. If for the goal that I wanted to go, I knew that wasn't enough. And you guys clearly kind of have that mindset, and your parents have that mindset of you guys have to do the extra because you guys are here on a Friday morning during winter break and you guys are getting that extra work. So I applaud you for that. But I will say that even going that extra beyond is what you need, and that's what I did. I didn't necessarily put an X amount of hours that I had to do every week, every month. I didn't necessarily say I had to hit 500 balls off of the tee and field 500 ground balls every single month. That's not something that I did because if I didn't reach that goal, I didn't want to feel like I failed myself or like I was a failure, because we do play a very hard sport and we fail a lot in this sport already as it is. So I wanted to make a goal for myself, a small goal for my bigger goal, that's something that I can attain and something that I was proud of every single time, every single week, every single month, okay? Another thing I will say is surround yourself with good people. I was very, very fortunate enough, obviously, to have a family that really supported me and softball, but I will say my coach, my travel ball coach, Mike Stith, definitely propelled me into that next stage. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your travel ball coach. It can be your lessons coach like Morgan. It can be somebody that is older. I actually recommend it to be somebody that is older, that can kind of guide you and help you, somebody that you can go to that can help you. And if they're specialized in softball, that's even better. But for me personally, Mike, I knew him when I was very young, and he just basically took me under his wing, and he just propelled me, like I said, to be the Olympian that I am today. But there was one specific time that I really remember that changed my career totally. I was in either the 7th or the 8th grade, I can't remember exactly, and my mom loved to sign me up for one-on-one ground balls with Mike, and I hated them. I never wanted to go. I always threw a fit, but my mom knew that it was good for me. So we were at Chino Hills Community Park. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but it was just Mike and I was one-on-one, so he just had buckets and buckets of balls, and he was just hitting me ground balls basically until I couldn't field anymore. And when I was younger, most of you probably don't know me, but I can say now that I'm grown, I was a brat. And I didn't want to work hard, and I showed up to practice and I did my thing, and that was pretty much it. And my parents signed me up for a lot of things basically. So at this practice, like I said, I was pretty young. I was about probably your guys' age right here. He sat me down and he told me, this is your choice. It is up to you of where you want to go in your career and what it is you want to do. He knew I wanted to play D1. He knew how serious I was. He knew how serious my parents were. He knew where I wanted to go, but he knew the level of commitment that I was giving wasn't going to be enough. So he sat me down and he told me, and he basically lectured me and scolded me, like, you need to flip a switch right now if you want to go to UCLA or if you want to be D1. And I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment, and it catapulted my career because of that moment that Mike had with me. And that's why I'm saying you want to keep multiple people, if you can, in your corner that are going to be there and that are going to lift you up, as preferably somebody older, okay? Because without Mike, I don't know if I would have went to UCLA. I don't know if I would have been an Olympian without that moment at Chino Hills Community Park, okay? And then lastly, I want to leave with, there was 2 moments in my career in the past year and a half that were very, very hard. February of 2020, the Olympic year in July, I tore my ACL on our first game of our Olympic tour. We were supposed to do like a fancy tour that they always do in previous Olympics. Obviously it got cut short because of COVID, but February before COVID, I tore my ACL. And we were supposed to play in the Olympics in July. I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea really anything. I was just at a daze. I was at a loss. I tore my ACL. My career is over. I'm not going to the Olympics. I prepared for this for the past 5 years, and I didn't know what to do. And it was in that moment when I had to really find myself, who I was outside of softball. And that's what I want to tell you guys a little bit, is softball does not define you. It is not who you are by any means. And I had to realize that in that moment when I felt like softball was taken away from me. I had no idea what to do. Same thing, fast forward, thankfully, the IOC postponed the Olympics for an entire year, so we got to play in the Olympics in July 2021. And I got surgery, I was all healed up, ready to go. We lose the gold medal and we win a silver medal. Same thing, I'm preparing 5 years for 6 games and to lose a gold medal. Now what? Now what do we do? What do we do now? I don't know what I want to do. I prepared so many days, so many years for this moment, and it's over, and I'm going home to Rancho Cucamonga as a silver medalist. Like, yeah, that's amazing. At the time, it was terrible, but now it's amazing. But now what? And so I encourage you guys to find hobbies, to find something to do, to really know who you are this side, to know who you are. You guys are still young, figuring life out. But I really leaned on my faith and trusting God, because I felt like nobody could really help me out of this pit that I was in after my ACL and after losing a gold medal. Whatever it is to you, believe in it, and believe in it wholeheartedly, no matter what it is. I really encourage you guys, because softball is not forever, unfortunately. I'm 27 and I'm still playing, thankfully, and I never thought I would be playing as a 27-year-old. But I just want to encourage all of you girls of just really taking the time to understand your hobbies, understanding yourself. Parents, same thing, understanding your daughters, when it is time to maybe take a step back. Because, like I said, it's not forever. In softball, unfortunately, we can't play until we're 35, 40 years old, like some other MLB players probably can. Does that make sense? All right, so those are just pretty much my 3 main things that I wanted to reiterate to you girls, okay? Just having that goal, and then having those bullet points to achieve that goal. Having really good people in your corner, preferably older people, women, your coaches, whoever it is, men. And then lastly is just understand that this is just a small part of your life, and to just really enjoy it, because softball is really, really fun, and you get to meet some amazing people. My best friends all were on the same team as me, and all were growing up. So just really enjoy it, and thank your parents, and just, yeah, that's pretty much it.